maxed out my Roth 401k this year. That's good that you maxed out your Roth 401k. But here's the problem. I shouldn't even be giving you this game. You actually messed up. You messed up. You left money on the table. You left money on the table. All right, I'll give you this hint. All right. I don't know why I got to do this. A lot of people, I shouldn't even be telling y'all this, honestly, because I usually only reserve this type of information and these type of strategies and these little knickknacks for bag chasers. You maxed out too early, big dog. And I know that you think that you're smart and you're the smartest person in the room, and I appreciate you for the super chats, but you maxed out too early if you maxed out your Roth 401k, right? The difference between a 401k and a Roth 401k is the Roth 401k is after tax. The regular 401k is pre-tax. So this is not nothing new. I'm not giving you any information that you don't already know. Some people may know, some people may not know. The 401k is pre-tax. The Roth 401k is post-tax, okay? So in order for me to tell you why you messed up, I first have to explain to the audience why it's important for you to pay attention to how money works. If you want to reduce the amount that you're paying on taxes because you're basically changing your adjusted gross income, that's the final number that you pay taxes on. If you're adjusting if you're paying it based off of your adjusted gross income, paying it a regular 401k reduces the amount that you're paying on your adjusted gross income. So it's basically pre-taxed, okay, or pre-tax. So let's say, for example, I make $100,000 a year, but then I contribute $23,500 into my 401k. Well, that would mean that my adjusted gross income, because it's pre-taxed, is now $76,500. So now I'm only going to be taxed on $76,500 instead of being taxed at the rate of $100,000 a year. Okay. Now, if I do a Roth, it's post-tax. So I'm still being taxed on $100,000 per year. And the difference is it grows tax-free, and the 401k, you only get taxed on it after you start drawing from it. All right. 401k pre-tax reduces your tax burden right now. Roth 401k post-tax reduces the amount that you're paying on taxes once you start to draw from it. So when the money goes in, all right, when the money goes in, no matter what it grows to, you don't have to pay taxes again on it. It doesn't matter if it grows to $1 million, a quadrillion dollars. No, the limit is not $7,000. The limit for a Roth IRA, an individual retirement account, is $7,000. A Roth 401k is through your job, okay? So you can still reach the exact same limit. The exact same limit is, I think it's $23,500. You can contribute $23,500 as a Roth 401k. The only difference between a 401k, Roth 401k, and a Roth IRA, a Roth 401k and a regular 401k, is both of them are through your job. The only difference is one is pre-tax and one is post-tax. Do you want the money to grow and then you don't have to pay no money after it grows, so you're taking more of a long-term approach? Both of them are good. You should invest in both of them. Or do you want to take the deduction now and then pay the taxes as you continue to draw from it? Now, here's the other side of that conversation, okay? The other side of that conversation is this. I tell people this all the time. Most of you get a match from your job, right? Your contribution into it is $23,500. Try to max out, but don't max out until the very end of the year. And the reason that is because you leave money on the table from the match from your job if you max out early. So let's say, for example, you max out in August or September. And I had to teach my father this when he was alive. I said, Dad, don't ever do that again. And he took my advice. If you max out in August, you no longer get the company match contribution because you over contributed and you didn't plan it out, right? So if you max out in August, you no longer get the company match, the 50%, 25%, or whatever it is that the company is matching you all the way through the end of the year. So what you should do is Put the minimum up to getting the maximum of what you get from your job. Put the minimum up to the maximum of what you get from your job. So get as much as you can from your job as free money. It's free money all the way up and through August, September, October. And this is why it's important for y'all to plan. The language of money is different. It's not based off of how much money you make. It's how much money you keep. It's not based off of how much money you make. It's how much money you keep. You get the minimum to get the maximum of what you get from the match. So all the way through August, September, you want to max out on as much as you can to max out on how much they're going to contribute to whatever it is that's going into your retirement. Okay. When you get into October, November, December, you're going to have to act like your job don't exist, because you want to then plan to max out how much you contributing, because you still want to hit that $23,500 threshold, but you don't want to miss out on the money that you contribute into your job. So here's the strategy. Your goal is to hit the $23,500. When you hit it is the conversation that you want to start having. When you hit it, you don't want to hit it until your last paycheck. You don't want to hit it until practically your last paycheck. Otherwise, you're leaving money on the table, because your job is only going to contribute based off of how you contribute. And if you max out in August, September, your job is no longer contributing that free money. It's leaving money on the table. The job giving it to you for free. Why would you max out early? So basically what I'm telling you is that when you guys are signing up for your 401k, and yes, you should max out, you should be going through. When people ask me, is math needed in the real world? Some of y'all said, Anton, what do you think about Jules Santana saying that math don't matter for people today? This is why math matters. This is why it matters. It matters because if you don't understand how money works, and if you can't calculate things effectively in life, whether it be your retirement, whether it be how much you need to pay to minimize the amount that you pay in taxes through the end of the year, expenses, business expenses, all of it. This is why most of these artists are getting taken advantage of. This is why a lot of these guys say, I didn't sign that contract, or I don't know what's going on, or I didn't know, or my accountant said that he did it and he said that he took care of it and I wasn't paying attention. How do you even know what he's doing? How do you know what they're doing with your money? How can you watch the people that are supposed to be watching your money? It doesn't absolve you. You can say, well, I'm going to hire somebody to do it. Okay, how do you know they're stealing? How do you know they're doing what they're supposed to do? My job is to know everything, but then to hire people to do it for me, but I still want to have the balances and checks in place to ensure that he's doing what he's supposed to do. You wouldn't even know that you're leaving money on the table unless you was calculating it effectively. First, you got to get to the point that you're contributing. Then you got to get to the point to where you don't need that money in the last 3 months, because you then want to max out the contribution amount so that you can then hit that threshold at the perfect time to get all of the money from your regular job. Reading doesn't matter. Oh, okay. He said reading wasn't the most important. Reading and math go hand in hand. Reading and math, oh, okay. It's the same thing. You still need to know how to read. You still need to know what you're doing. So I don't know if I explained that enough for you guys. When I worked at the University of Michigan, we had a double match. A double match. That's why I loved working for the University of Michigan. The benefits package, your total compensation, when you go to work at a job, and this is why people, they don't know what they're talking about. Your total compensation when you work at a job is not how much you make per hour. Your total compensation is based off of how much you get, your benefits package, your retirement package, all of that. When I worked at the University of Michigan, I had a double match. So everything that I contributed, they double matched it. That's free money, bro. It's free money. So now My job when I first started getting my benefits package was, all right, I need to calculate this. I need to figure out how much I can contribute. I need to lower my lifestyle because I have to be able to afford, right? This, and this. So now what I did was I had my own businesses and I was running my own businesses. So I didn't care about living off of the money that I made in corporate America. I never lived off of the money that I made in corporate America after I started working at the University of Michigan. I cared more about the benefit packages. I cared more about the retirement, and I cared about the experience because I was going to leverage that to go into working for the banks, right? So now my goal was to figure out, okay, since I don't need this money now, I'm not going to change my lifestyle to fit the amount of money that I'm making, the additional money that I'm making. I'm going to leverage this so that I can then take advantage of all of the benefits package. They paid for me to go to college, right? Once I left community college and I transferred over to a major university, that was a part of the benefit package. That as long as I was going into something technology and STEM related, because I was working in information technology services, they were paying for my schooling 100%. They were paying for me. I was working from home. I was also being able to take advantage of the retirement package, right? So I was looking at the university not from, oh man, how much I make per hour. I was looking at taking advantage of the full benefit package that they had, right? When I tell people, well, you can leverage going to school and take advantage of it without taking out student loans, that was one of the ways that I did it. I went to community college first. When I transferred over to a major university, then I leveraged the University of Michigan to pay for my education while at the same time taking advantage of the benefit package and the double match that came along with their, well, it wasn't a 401k, it was a 403b. 403b is usually applicable to nonprofits and government agencies. Unless you are a part of the military, then it's a TSP. Am I doing too much? Y'all want to go back to getting entertained? Y'all want to talk about the stuff that's happening in the culture? Because we talk about everything over here just for the sake of conversation. Am I doing too much? If you work for a nonprofit, which could also include major universities, government entities, it's a 403b. All right. 403b is the same as a 401k, except for a 401k is for private entities, publicly traded companies, and companies that's not, along the nonprofit / government industry. TSPs are the same thing, except for it's for people that are a part of the military services, armed services, people that do that. Okay. So when I'm talking about this, apply it to whatever respective retirement plan that you guys have. Okay. When I say 401k, it also includes 403bs. It also includes TSPs, right? When I say a 401k, that's the very basic. Y'all should be looking to max out on that. But I want y'all to get to the point to where you can afford to do a 403b, because long term, we want your money to grow. We want your money to grow tax free. We don't want you taxed. Then we don't want them taxing you on the million. We want them to tax you on the 80 to 90 to the 100. Okay? We want that long-term money. Now, I know that they say, Anton, you only a C student. I know they say, Anton, you don't have a doctorate. You're not a part of academia. I bet you I can show you my portfolio and it's booming out this bitch. I bet you I can show you my receipts on Patreon of what my 1099s, my W-2s and all of that look like. I bet you I can show you my brokerage account and we can talk about academia right after that. If you are not a part of I'm doing a business live stream because I usually don't talk about this type of stuff. I don't even get into it this deep, right? This is surface level based off of compared to what we talk about in the Patreon. All right. We're doing a business live stream tomorrow on Patreon. So if y'all not a part of the Patreon, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. What they trying to prevent y'all from doing is getting to the money. The reason that they trying to prevent y'all from getting to the money is because if you start making too much money, you're going to start asking too many questions. When you start asking too many questions, then that means that you're making too much money. And if you're making too much money, then that means you're learning how to think for yourself. A lot of people may not like me. But you don't have to like me in order to get the information. A lot of people say that they don't like me. But you don't have to like me to get the information. I didn't ask you to fuck me. I just said do better for your family and do better for yourself so that you can change the narrative of the next generation. I didn't ask you to bust me down, right? We not bed buddies, nigga. I'm asking you to do what you're supposed to do for your chick, and so your kids won't be out here doing stuff that they're not supposed to do. I didn't ask you to be best friends, nigga. I said I'm gonna give you the information. Do with it what you will. Patreon is for everybody. We ain't got to be friends, but can we get this money together? No. Let's keep it 100. We can go on to the next subject. I'm about to read the super chats. We don't have to be friends. I didn't say that we was best buddies. I said, can we get this money together? What is it that I have to do to add value into your life? You feel me? That's how I look at politics. That's how I look at politics. It's like, I don't need Trump to be my best friend. I don't want him to make me feel good. I want him to implement the policies that allow for me to run up a bag and take care of my family. I don't need friends in politics. I don't need nobody to look like me. What am I, 12? I want people that look like me in these. Man, I want the motherfucking information. Give me some information so I can make my money, and y'all can go back to doing all of this kumbaya shit. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat.